Hey folks, Species7 here, and welcome back. Got another early access indie game for you today. This is called Unturned. A lot of you might be familiar with it, a lot of you might be big fans of it. I will tell you right off the top, considering what a glut there is right now of zombie survival games, this is certainly not one of my favorites. It does have some pretty good stuff going through it. It's very much like pretty much all of them are, in as much as you find things or salvage things or build things to help you survive. And in this case you have health, hunger, thirst, biohazard, and energy to deal with. Here is a zombie. Alright, so you can see the katana that I'm using did handle him fairly readily, so not bad. This spot that I've come across, this farm here, I just finally made it to here. One of the things I'm not terribly fond of in this game is if you die, and you will repeatedly, whatever you've accumulated you lose. That wouldn't be so bad, except for a couple of things. One, you do in fact lose everything, by the way. I mean, what you're carrying in your hand, what you have, you know, in your pack, what you have on your hotbar, as it were, although you don't really see one there. You do have items you can put to your various number keys. Like I have a canteen on 2, I have a double-barreled shotgun on 3. I think you can do, depending on your pack, you can do a certain number across the board. But you lose all of it. Alright, well that's fair. It makes it a little bit challenging, doesn't it? The problem I have with it is, a lot of how well you do in this game is going to be fairly dependent on where and how you run into things. I.e., I have seen on a few Let's Plays where people have spawned and within a couple of 100 yards have actually come across a town. Now it'll usually have lots of zombies, but the nice thing about a town is it'll also have some pretty... what the heck? Oh, I see. One farm after another. Okay. So I haven't actually been to that one. It will have things like pharmacies. And there's one pill and one pill only, to at least anything that I've run across, or anybody I've seen playing run across, that will take care of the getting rid of that green bar before it kills you. And those are only available, from what I've seen, either in a military medical post or a pharmacy. So there are vehicles in the game. There are lots of vehicles in the game, like this pink pickup truck up here. Of course, we've always wanted a pink pickup. Yo, zombie. And you can flatten zombies by driving into them. That is not a problem. I use a melee weapon most of the time just because I don't want them to come hoarding in, as they are attracted to noise. Alright, like I say, the katana does a wonderful job. Ah, there's a gas can. So I'm going to pick that up. And let's get in this vehicle. Okay, this one has 13% fuel. Nice. If you click your tab button, it will take you to your inventory. Now, I have this many inventory slots only because I happen to find... oh, it's full. Okay. We'll move this, I think. Let's see here. Using items is often difficult. Yeah. See, because of the scroll, I can't even actually move it into that position right now. But I can equip it. I can fill it. And I can fill the truck. Oops. But again, because I can't actually... well, I suppose I can. it's there we go. Ooh, it worked. Sometimes it doesn't work very well. There we go. We'll switch it out for that. Yeah, it is this awkward to do things, unfortunately. And then we'll fill that. We'll come over here. You have to do the same thing with water. And water can be filled at any lake or well. But to do that, you either, well, you have to make a canteen. And to make a canteen requires a can and a bottle of water. 99 times out of 100, you'll find a moldy bottle of water. That can only be used if you also find purification tablets, which again, you can find sometimes at military bases and sometimes at pharmacies. How are we doing here? 100%. Lovely. Alright, so we actually have a usable vehicle now. The other thing you need to do before you either... a snare. Huh. Neat. Oh, my inventory is full. That's okay, I could use some eating. The other thing that you... what have we got to eat? Is that it? Uh-oh. Please don't tell me only that corn. Oh no, okay. I think let's have a nice fresh cabbage. Yes. And like everything else, to have food, you must equip it and then use it. And I think I'll also have a sip of my canteen. There we go. And then fill it back up. Alright. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the only way you can actually save, and the only thing you save is a place. Oh, yay, please be food. It is a carrot seed. Excellent. Plant every seed you find as soon as you can, because they are one of your big sources of food. Aha. Let's get rid of this fella. There we go. Now, potato seed. Okay, I'll equip that and plant it. And carrot seed. I'll equip that and plant it. It takes about a day for things to grow. Unfortunately, you can starve to death in less than a day. So don't count on crops. You pretty much gotta find something to eat. I do believe that is all of my seeds, though, isn't it? Yes. You can eat food, or you can go to crafting. Yeah, I should be able to... oh, I hope so. If you put it in your crafting bench, it'll give you 2 seeds, right? So, let's do that. And then, let us equip these. There we go. Lovely. That also freed up some inventory space. Bandages, you require to go to your crafting to take cloth, which will, 2 of them will give you a rag. You need 2 rags to make a bandage. You need 2 bandages to make a dressing. And of course the amount they heal you go up with each of those. There's a skill system. When you kill zombies, you get points, anywhere from 4 to 8 points, sometimes 10, I believe, is what I've maxed. And you can put those into things like survival, which slows down your hunger and your food. And you can see I've thrown a lot of points into survival. If I don't eat probably before nightfall, I'll starve before morning. Right? And the rest of it, you can mine and chop trees faster, a little bit better at striking and take a little less damage, which I have a point into. Marksman I haven't bothered because I basically only use guns if I'm getting overrun. Otherwise, you probably get overrun. And, yeah. It doesn't take too much to find yourself really, really quickly gone. Apparel? I don't know, nothing seems to actually have any stats. The only thing they seem to be really good at is if you take any of your clothing off, you can make rags out of it. And then you can process up to bandages, etc., right? So there you go. And that, as they say, is pretty much that. Now I think I'll pick up this snare. One thing I'm not terribly fond of is, can you guys actually see my cursor? Not so much? Right? Yeah, and that is how you have to pick up these tiny objects. Even if it's a single buckshot shell or something similar to that. Now they do highlight green when you're on them, granted, but that is once you're on them. Civilian armor. Okay, now that sounds probably a little better than what I have. So, let's equip that. There we go. How's that? Alright. Nice. Maybe. I don't know. Probably don't need that other knapsack. Let's drop that. Okay. Alrighty. Buckshot. Alrighty. So let's carry on here. I should have my katana out. And this is, you can mine, you can build, like you can fortify areas. I'm not sure how often you'd actually have enough time to build very much from scratch. Ah, potato seed, excellent. Always use seeds. Civilian bullets. I have bullets for the weapons that I have. One nice thing about farms, you will actually find usable seeds. Most places what you'll actually find is moldy vegetables, like moldy corn. If you put that into your crafting table, it will give you one seed. So there you go. If you put fresh fruit in or fresh vegetables, 2 seeds. If it's moldy, it gives you 1 seed. It's always a good idea to eat as little as you can and plant as much as you can. Obviously, because, well, you will freaking starve to death very quickly. There we go. And if you mouse over them, so to speak, when they're actually ready, they will say harvest. So there you go. And as you can see, I'm already up to 43% of the hungries. There's another zombie. Ah. Arrows. Ah, it's not arrows that I actually need, it's bolts. And they just chuck the crossbow. There we go. So 6 experience for the Crawley farmer. Alrighty. As far as I know, you can't actually destroy things like that. Or at least I haven't been able to. Although I have not at all yet found an axe or a pickaxe or anything like that. Which I know are in the game and do allow you to do things like mine and dig and chop down trees. Chopping down trees opens a whole bunch of crafting possibilities, so I don't want to leave here till I can harvest that food. The fact that there's a well there is doesn't exactly hurt either. The other thing I'm really not too terribly fond of in this game is the fact that it gets dark and stays dark for as long as it's light and stays light. That, I suppose, would be alright if it actually had anything to do with the game. Sadly enough, it truly doesn't. Zombies aren't any different at night. They don't horde like they do in most of the other sort of similar venues. They, you know, there's really not much in the way of a difference at all. So I think I'm going to have to, since there's absolutely no cloth at that farm, probably going to have to use my own clothes to make a bandage here. Alright. You can sprint, but it uses up energy. Energy will regenerate once you stop doing whatever it is you were doing, and give it a couple of seconds. So, and there we go, it's building back up. Lovely. So, with absolutely no map to this game, if you do lose all your stuff, you spawn randomly, and therefore, pretty much by either luck or the fact you eventually stumble across something you recognize, will you get your gear back. Now, it'll be there. There's no issue with that. It doesn't despawn. It's just simply that it doesn't really tell you where it is. And it's getting, I think, close enough to evening that I don't want to leave until that food is ready. I really, really need that food. And because the nights are so long, I really don't want to have most of this episode at night. So, but yeah, the crafting interface, I didn't really get to show you much of it, but what we're going to do here, turn your eyes. There we go. Now, let's go to the crafting. We will take our fancy jeans. We'll get 2 pieces of cloth. That seems reasonable. Take our fancy suit. That gets us 2 pieces of cloth. I now have 5 pieces of cloth. If I craft those, I will get a rag. And another rag. If I take 2 rags, I will get a bandage. So now, as you can see, I have a slot for cloth, a slot for rags, and 1 bandage. Luckily enough, I'm actually going to equip the bandage and use it, so I'll only be using up 2 slots to make a bandage. And that brings me to one of the final points I'm not that fond of with this thing. And that is the fact that when you start, and every single time you die, you start with a 4-slot inventory. Now, you need some type of weapon, you need food, if you want water, you have to craft a canteen, which requires 2 slots worth of stuff, and a 3rd empty slot if you need to find purification pills, providing you don't die of thirst before you find all 3 of those unique ingredients. Now, the last farm I was at, and this one, didn't happen to have any cans, any water, moldy or otherwise. Well, it has a well, but that only works if you have a canteen. I can't jump in there if I have no canteen. So it had none of the ingredients for that. So I would have had to reserve 3 slots for a water carrier of some form. So now you have a weapon, 3 slots for a water carrier, and if you haven't yet, you're going to have to make a sleeping bag and then claim it. Now, I don't really know where mine is, but if I die, I'll end up back there because you can't pick it up. Right? All it does is takes you back to where you left it. You don't get your stuff, doesn't appear there, nothing else. And again, no map. So if I can't find my way back from my spawn point to this farm, and I died here on this farm, this is where all my stuff would be, whether I was or not. So that's kind of a different sort of thing. Now, I'm not going to get to actually show you everything you can do in this episode. Like I say, the stuff's not even going to be done. But maybe we'll take a quick zip up the road here. You gotta admit, this part's actually reasonably well done, other than the fact that, wow, do you go through fuel fast. You know, like you'd expect to get quite a lot of driving out of this. But I'm afraid that would surprise you. Running over zombies gets you no experience points. So I usually, the only time I'll do it is if things are happening, i.e. night is setting in and I've just finally found my way to a town. I might just decide to plow them all over with the car on the way in. And, you know, find a different way to come up with experience. Well, what do we got here? Hey, looks like I've actually found a town. So, interesting. And really slow to back up. Alright. Time to go in and have a look about. We'll take that because it will make us a bandage with a little bit of help, as will this. If I can find it, there we go. And there we go. Oh, no space. Alright. Now, let's hope I don't die while I'm trying to turn all of this into goodies. Where's the other one? Let's craft those. Let's take our rags, craft a bandage. Lovely. Okay, let's see if there's any more in here. It seems to be some sort of a laundry facility. I should probably arm myself. Lovely. There's one bit. And we have some shells. Cool. Now I really need to find food here, or find my way back to those crops I was growing before I starved to death, which doesn't take long, believe me. No space again. Yeah, you're really not allowed to pick up very much, I'm afraid. I'm going to drop the slugs, I think. 2, 3, 4. You have to drop them individually, of course, just like you pick them up. There we go. Because that, at the moment, is a little more important. Okay. And again, we must put them here. Craft. Craft. Put that there. Craft. And the rags we will craft into a bandage. And I think that'll do it. Nice. Okay. As you can see, it is quite a process, and nothing wrong with that at all. It works rather well. I don't have an issue with the crafting. It's getting dark that I have an issue with, because I haven't found near all the zombies that are going to be around here. Well, this is the laundry. Wow. And there I thought that was. Well, we're going to get ourselves a couple of bandages here by the looks of it. That's nothing. Okay. Whoa. Whew. That's another problem, is these guys don't always make that much noise. Okay, I'm in sneak mode now, but it's not very good. You can also crawl on your belly. No space. Yeah. That is an ongoing an issue. Okay, I'm going to drop that crossbow because I have yet to run across bolts. Alright, let's put this in. Let's craft. Let's put this in. Let's craft. Let's put our cloth in. Crafty, crafty. Let's put our rag in. Craft. There we are. We now have 3 bandages. Well, I might as well take this one too. After all. And that one. And we will do the same. Crafting. Lumberjack pants. Craft. Craft. Thank you. And okay. Yeah, I really do need some. Take those and do the same. So you can see pretty much everything is kind of tedious and very not exactly fluid. Alright, now it is dark. I have yet to find any food. So, let us hope we don't die looking for some. More clothing? Are you serious? And absolutely nothing for food, eh? And of course it's getting dark, which means you guys aren't really going to be able to see this for much longer. So, well, I'm probably going to come awful close to starving to death. If not, I will perhaps bring another episode if this gets a decent response. But I think until then, to avoid us having to walk around in the dark, I'm going to find a place to hide and wait for morning. But until then, this has been, well, no, I'll starve to death. I'm going to have to drive back to that farm and hope the crops are ready. So, this has been Species 7. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did and want to see more of these indies highlighted, then please give it a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe or favorite the video. That would be just awesome. I would appreciate it so much. So, till next time, this has been Species 7. Take care of each other, folks, and ciao for now.